The way that I see a lot of people operating with their kids is they just let them, here, yeah, take that, have fun with that.
I don't lift weights anymore. If anything, it just got boring to me.
Yo, I have a YouTube channel where I mainly talk about CrossFit. But every once in a while I kind of venture and I talk about something else. Well, from my past, anything kind of interesting in the present. And today this is going to be one of those videos. Remember I did the video on the Arnold Schwarzenegger Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding? That was interesting, that was different. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Barbarian, Predator, that's all kind of been something that's been impactful in me as a person who has grown up wanting to be a fitness-involved individual. You think Sylvester Stallone and Rambo and Rocky. And I've even seen those modern day memes, which are, these are the heroes that we had growing up and these are the heroes that you have now. And it's a picture of Sylvester Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and then over here is a picture of Edward Cullen, who by all means is now Batman, and I've always been a fan of, so maybe I'm a fan of all of them. But where I'm going with all of this is that there was another individual, and I never knew that this person was the same age as myself. Little Hercules. Dude's name is Richard Sandrick. Sandrak? I'm gonna call him Sandrick. Although there is an A in there and I'm spelling it with an I the way I'm pronouncing it, but whatever. It's easier for me to say Sandrick. This guy was everywhere, and at this point he was a boy. This boy was everywhere. 6 years old, shredded. Professional bodybuilder, shredded. Actually, not Jason Hopper 3 to 4% body fat, but actual what seems like 3 to 4% body fat. And everyone wanted to say, this isn't healthy. Oh, they're putting him on steroids. And now I am the same age as this guy. It's been quite a while, and I feel as if I can talk a little bit while I'm by no means a professional on the topic of performance-enhancing drugs. It just popped up somewhere on my social media feed that he is now nowhere near the same individual that he was when he was 6 years old, 5 years old, on TV, on covers of magazines, going everywhere. The next big thing, bodybuilder. Little Hercules is what they called him. And the other thing that drove me nuts, and I hope that people don't get this sense of my videos when they watch them, is the clickbait that I had to click through and filter through in order to see this picture of this dude. So he's on the beach, he's walking around, he's flexing, and he just looks like some normal dude with a little bit of muscle tone on him. In the comments, and I believe that was Facebook where I had seen it, everyone's saying, cool, I'm glad that this guy isn't horribly out of place in terms of his mental state, which people didn't think would be possible considering the fact that they thought his parents were pressuring him to be on steroids and work out all of this much. And that brings me to the video that I found from actually a year ago at this point. So some of you guys may have already seen this, but I'm seeing it for the first time.
I've never been forced to train or do anything against my will. My parents used to train all the time, and I wanted to join in. It was mostly my choice.
My parents used to train all the time and you wanted to join in. That sounds completely understandable, realistic. And seeing the way that he's adapted and grown up, I believe him. Why would he have any reason to lie right now about that? And then he goes on to say that
I have to say my parents are my heroes because they've helped me develop throughout my life.
that doesn't really sound like an individual that was forced to use performance-enhancing drugs at the ages of 3 to 6.
I don't lift weights anymore.
He says that he got bored of lifting weights.
If anything, it just got boring to me.
And it makes sense. What sort of a kid enjoys lifting weights? I'm gonna go through 3 sets of 10. The kids have freaking TikTok brains. You get them for 5 or 6 seconds in a given period of time and it should be a win, but you gotta expect them to go do all of these sets on the squat or the deadlift or whatever would be required for him to get that sort of physique. And yeah, it's boring.
Is that what you think? You think?
And if you're exposed to it and you've gotta do all of that at that age, it's boring.
It doesn't matter!
One of the most commonly heard things you'll ever hear in CrossFit is that if you had to choose between CrossFit and playing a bunch of sports and what would you do to become the best CrossFitter or maybe even just live the best life, the idea wouldn't be to go do CrossFit because then you're missing out on everything that you can build and the fun of playing all of these sports. It's in fitness in 100 words, regularly learn and play new sports, right? Maybe it's for that exact reason right there.
If anything, it just got boring to me.
It's freaking boring. You're gonna get burnt out.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
You miss out on life when you just live in the gym. Yeah, you're shredded and maybe you become Little Hercules in the movie Hercules. Or do they call it Little Hercules? Whatever they called it. But now look at him. He just looks normal and that's good. Normal's good. But he's soft. Really soft. He's cool with it. Glad that he's cool with being soft and, you know, it's fine.
No! No! No!
Some people could aspire to that, but he went from being the next big thing, bodybuilder, fitness model, whatever he wanted. The world was offered up to him on a silver platter, and now he doesn't do anything. He got burnt out. Don't do CrossFit too young. Don't do fitness too young. Just let him freaking play.
Andrak eventually got a job as a stuntman at the Universal Studios Waterworld show in Los Angeles.
He's a stuntman present day, which is cool. He's still using his body, and he still actually does pull-ups and stuff, and you see him running up these stairs.
Weights behind, staying in shape with chin-ups, skateboarding, and running upstairs.
So it's not like like he doesn't do anything, but he's not doing the bodybuilding, training to be jacked out of his freaking mind anymore. But the thing that I also want to bring up on this is a comments section. I love the comments sections. We have a comment here from the 90s boy. That sounds like me, right? I'm talking about the dude from the 90s. We're looking at little Hercules. We probably saw him, and it says something seriously wrong with those parents giving a child steroids and letting your kid go to the gym at the age of 5, 6, and up. There's nothing wrong with letting your kid go to the gym, and he even said it in the video.
My parents used to train all the time, and I wanted to join in.
He went there because his parents were there, and he liked to work out with his parents. I think that that's cool, but it's different when they are forced to do so. But clearly he wasn't, and clearly this guy doesn't know what's going on, just like most people who make comments in comment sections. First comment, they didn't give him steroids. They said the doctors were skeptical, but it's 100% possible for a child to do this, and most of them just don't. I agreed. Agreed. You ever seen kids that do gymnastics or any sort of extreme activity? They look good. They look great. They have muscle. They're shapely. They might not quite look like that because he apparently pushed it a little bit. They gave him load. They gave him the stimulus to grow muscle. But if you look at 6, 7, 8-year-olds who do a whole bunch of calisthenics or gymnastics is really the best option there, they're pretty jacked. In present day, the way that I see a lot of people operating with their kids is they just let them, here, yeah, take that, have fun with that. Shut the hell up and go play in the other room. Next comment, bro, if he was a real natty, he would have kept at least some of the muscles he had developed. Now he looks like he was being skinny fat his whole life. That's not true. Actually, what is probably even more true is that if he were given a whole bunch of steroids, likely testosterone at the age of 6 years old, he would have developed a little bit earlier. He would have shown hair growth. But it's actually much more likely that if he were to have stopped it, that he would be much softer now because he's going to have all of the bodily functions shut off at the age of 6. He probably wouldn't get any taller. It says he's 5'9". He's a normal height. He's my height. But he'd be all sorts of messed up. He'd probably have boobs because he's a man, but his testosterone was shut off as he was going through puberty. His body wouldn't know what to turn him into, so he'd have boobs, and he doesn't appear to have boobs. He just looks like a dude who doesn't work out. So I don't think that there's anything to that, and he definitely wouldn't have more muscle now as a result. And if anything, the way he looks is evident that he may have been using steroids, actually. The comment's backwards. There's a comment here from Watt. It just says that Chris James is delusional. Chris James is the one who said that they didn't give him steroids, and this guy's saying he's so clearly wrong that he's delusional, which also makes me delusional because I didn't think he used anything either. There's another one, Roger Smith. I agree, Watt, he is delusional. In my opinion, prepubescent children do not develop muscles. They get stronger by building more motor neurons. Anyone that doesn't think this kid was on roids looking at his mom, who looks like a man, and his roided up dad are insane. So now you're drawing comparisons about the way that his mom looks, which is messed up, and then his dad, which by all means I don't think looks roided up, but he did have some sort of anger issues because there was an issue with the mom, stated in the video.
His father, Pavel, was sent to prison for beating up his wife, Lena, when Sandrek was 11.
And you're right, kids do have motor neural connections more simply built than older adults do. If you give a muscle stimulus to grow, it's going to grow no matter what age you're at. The reason males typically blow up at the ages of 15, 16, 17 is because of the influx of testosterone from hitting puberty. Same reason that when I start taking testosterone at 200 milligrams a week on my TRT from California Hormones, my body weight went up, 3 to 5% like that for no reason other than the fact that there's more testosterone in there. But prior to that, I was able to build muscle just like anybody else. So can the kid, so that comment's stupid. And then this one's good, Mars. No. Coming from somebody in the biology field, that kind of build and strength is not normal or even possible for most kids, and even many adults. So even if this one specific case, he did become like that naturally, it's definitely not 100% possible for children to do this. Probably because you're in the biology field that you don't see very many children who actually are exposed to consistent exercise and possibly even weights. If you had seen a couple of them, namely people like Sevon's kids who aren't on steroids, right Sevon? They're not on steroids. Those dudes don't lift weights, they do exercise, they do jujitsu, they ride skateboard. And just through that amount of exercise and being continuously active, they've got shape to them. They kind of have an X figure. They've got hips, they've got quads, they've got shoulders, they've got arms. So the comment above that, which said he wouldn't be all scrawny now, it'll all go away if you don't use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's not just gonna sit there. You're not just gonna have muscle your whole life because you had it when you were 6 years old. It's 24 years ago for this dude. And then also, I really don't listen to anybody who just sits in a medical room all day. I've never seen a kid who's done this. And all the kids that you have any interactions with have also eat boxes of cereal in the morning because it's what people like you think that they should be doing. Here's a box of cereal. That's healthy, right?
No, God! God!
And the reason I bring up all of those comments, and now I'm done with that, is because when I saw the kid, I think that I probably thought there was something going on too. I can't really remember all that clearly if I go, that kid's on steroids. I just thought it was inspirational, the same way that I thought Schwarzenegger was inspirational, and the same way that I thought Sylvester Stallone was inspirational. I was just like, I want to look like that. That's cool. It means that they had to work hard to do that sort of stuff. Granted, while Schwarzenegger and Stallone were totally on steroids, I think they've even said that they've used certain things, or maybe it was Stallone who got caught in the airport and Schwarzenegger who said that he used Dianabol. This kid, in my opinion, 100% did not. And it's very cool to see that he's just making up his own mind. He had the parental guidance to do things at that point, which he thought he liked to do. He did the entire movie thing, and now he's moved forward into a new stage of his life where he's just riding skateboards and getting lit on fire and jumping off of buildings. Hope you enjoyed the break from the CrossFit stuff. Andrew Hiller, out.